Right guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I am going to be covering over some news that's come out of Liverpool over the past couple of days. We've got the Virgil van Dijk injury, got midfielders that we've been linked with, and we've also got the Bobby Firmino Saudi Arabian link. So let's start with Virgil van Dijk. It's the biggest news really, to be fair, to me anyway. Virgil van Dijk's got a worse injury than we're particularly first thought back when he went off at Brentford. He's been sent to a specialist for further analysis basically, and when stuff like that happens, it's not good news. There's a lot of reports coming out that basically he's going to miss the rest of the month, and he's in a race against time to be fit for the Real Madrid game, which is not something that I wanted to hear, to be fair to you. We need all of our best players ready and raring to go for that game, especially with the form that we're currently in. That's not something that we needed to hear, that our best centre back is potentially going to miss that game. Fingers crossed it's not as bad as all that and you can recover a little bit quicker, but there was something else that came out today in an article that I'm going to cover in my next video that basically says that a lot of the medical staff has left Liverpool, and this is potentially the reason why it's taking longer for players to come back from injury and why players are getting injured quicker, because there just isn't the team there to protect them and help them basically, which is diabolical for a team of our stature really, isn't it, if you think about it that way. But all the best to Virgil. Hope he gets well quick, because we need him back as soon as possible, especially like I said with our form we're currently in. Right, so let's go to this Firmino thing. So a sports reporter from that region has tweeted out like a zoomed in image, you've probably seen it by now, of a background of a picture, and the background looks very similar to the background of Bobby Firmino's picture with his family that he put up over Christmas. We have heard that Atletico Madrid and Juventus are interested in Bobby. I'd be sad to see him go, basically. I think he's been a really good player for us. Before I started doing this video, there was a few murmurings of going around that he was leaning towards staying at Liverpool on reduced terms, which I could see that happening as well. We need all the players that we can get. But why was this journalist put this out there? Is he just doing it for clicks? Is he just doing it for attention? It could potentially look like that Bobby will be joining Ronaldo over in the Saudi Arabian League. I think it might be even the same side. I might be wrong there, but could be the same side as well. Now, midfielders that we've been linked with. Now, in my last video, I did one about Mateus Nunes, and that whole situation, which has just baffled me. It just doesn't make no sense to me how we're going to go and buy somebody more expensive when you could have got him a lot cheaper in the summer. And it's bad business, guys. I don't care what anybody says, how anybody tries to twist it. If it is true that we agreed to go back for Mateus Nunes a season later because we wanted him last summer and we needed him, which is why we signed Arthur Melo, then that is just the worst piece of business that I think Liverpool's potentially done in a transfer, other than actually signing these bad players that we've had. It makes no sense. We could have had him for like 35, 40 million. And then according to Sky Sports today, it's going to take 50 million to sign him. Apparently right now, we can't even get 60, 70 million together for Caicedo. And we're supposed to be signing Jude Bellingham in the summer as well. And 50 million for Nunes. Guys, come on. This isn't happening. There's nowhere made that with these owners we're spending that amount of money. So it doesn't make no sense to me. But anyway, we've had some new links today, and it's Weston McKennie. Apparently he's been offered to the club. He's been linked with several other Premier League clubs, including us. Bournemouth apparently had a £40 million bid accepted by Juve, but he turned them down, looking for potentially someone a little bit better. Aston Villa are interested. There's been Chelsea mooted. Tottenham has been surrounding him as well, apparently. But we are the latest club that's been linked with him, and apparently he's been offered to us. I saw a few rumblings about this over the Christmas period with his name being mentioned with us, but this would be the second Juventus player that we would have loaned this season, because apparently it's going to be a loan deal with an obligation to buy. And you'd have to ask yourselves, why would they let us loan him if he was all that? Why at this stage of the season would a team allow another team to loan somebody? I mean, I know Juventus has got a lot going on legally, with trying to balance the books. All the board resigned, didn't they, because of breaking the law or something. So that could potentially be a good thing where they have to do it. They've got no choice. Do you know what I mean? But for me personally, I would prefer, if we're going to sign an American midfielder, I would prefer Musa, or is it N. Aronson, from Leeds. I'll put a picture of them both up here just so you can see who I'm talking about. I prefer both of them, to be fair. Like Aronson, I think, is terrific. Like, he's come through like the Red Bull family group, shall we call it. Very similar to Keita and a few other players that Liverpool have been interested in over the years. So I could see him being a Liverpool player. He's full of energy. Reminds me a little bit of Wijnaldum. A little bit, not fully, but yeah. But let's have a look at McKennie's stats so far this season. So it says here, in the Serie A, he's made 12 appearances, he's got 1 goal and 1 assist. And in the Champions League, 5 appearances, 2 goals. It says here he's played 12 as a central midfielder, 2 as a right mid, 2 as a left mid. What was his stats in the World Cup? It's not showing me. It's not showing what he was like in the World Cup on here. Strange. But anyway, he obviously played... I thought he played fairly well, to be fair, in the World Cup. You know, he's 24 years of age. He's got an agent that I'm not too sure that we've been named with before. Let's have a look who they represent. Wasserman, if that's how you pronounce it. I know he spent a bit of time in Germany, didn't he, at some point before he went to Juventus. But he's only 24 years of age. I thought he was a little bit older than that, to be fair. Like 27. Don't know why I thought that. This is taking a while to load. Just wanted to see like if there's any other players with this agent that's been linked to Liverpool lately, you know, because a lot of stuff like that Gestifute that we've got, like with Mateus Nunes, a lot of their players that we've seen with them, we've been linked with in the past, and we've got like 5 of them on our books already, like Fabinho, Jota, Nunes, you know, there's loads that we've got and we've been linked with. It's not loading, guys. So anyway, we'll leave that there for Weston McKennie. Next one we go to is... There was Manu Kone has been linked to us by Fabrizio Romano, and basically he was saying that we are, along with a few other clubs, interested in this Kone kid who plays for Mönchengladbach. He has been linked to us a few times, to be fair, if I'm not wrong, and they're looking at about 40 million for him. He seems to be like a hard-working midfielder, a bit more of a Fabinho kind of player, someone who sits a bit deep. We need something like this, guys. He's only young as well. Like, we need players like this to come in, that are like fresh blood, young players now. I'm sick of us being linked with like 27, 28-year-olds. We need the young ones in. Like, where's... You know this as well. Before I go any further, 40 million for him. Why can't we start signing players like Caicedo before they become the Brighton Caicedo? You know, like we signed Wijnaldum and everyone's like, what are you signing him for from a relegation side? Robertson, for instance. Where's these signings gone? Where we were so good at signing these players and turning them into gems. Like, yeah, I'll leave that there for Kone because it's Fabrizio Romano, and to be fair, a lot of stuff that he's been saying about Liverpool lately has been in a load of rubbish. But I just thought I'd mention it because we've been linked with a fair few midfields, haven't we, over the past couple of days. And with this window, definitely a midfielder. That's where I think we're looking to strengthen, obviously. So I think I'll leave it... Oh, what's this? Right, fair enough. I think I'll cover this now. So, breaking now by, again, Fabrizio Romano and Sky Sports, I think. Yep. It's the saying, basically, that the deal for Enzo Fernandez has fallen through because Chelsea are unwilling to make the single payment like Benfica are not willing to budge from the 120 million. They want that up front. They don't want any sort of instalments or anything like that. That could be quite ruining for us to know, to be fair. Like, I know some of you might be like a little bit like, oh yes, they're not signing Enzo Fernandez, that gives us a chance. Not for that price, but I think they might turn their attention to Caicedo now, guys. If they're definitely after a midfielder this window. We know that they liked him. Obviously, Graham Potter's got a previous relationship with him. Don't be surprised if we see Moses Caicedo move to Chelsea in this window now. That's what I'm going to start watching. Right, guys, I'm going to leave that video there. Obviously, on that bad note. If you've liked this video, give it a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to keep up to date with everything else I've got going on. And I'll catch you in the next one.